All right, let's go ahead and get started. It is 10:30. Thank you everybody for joining our Stretch with the Leader Be Well moment. Today we have Matt Christensen, who is our Cybersecurity Senior Director. And I would love to have him introduce a little bit more about himself, and then you can just jump right into your Be Well moment. So thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Brooke. Thanks everyone for being here. Matt Christensen, I'm a Senior Director in Cybersecurity. I've been with Intermountain collectively for about 10 years, and right now just work on an amazing team. We have 150 caregivers that work in cyber many of them work 24/7, just to ensure that Intermountain and all of the associated organizations, Select Health, and everyone can serve the communities that we're committed to serving. You see the threats of ransomware and all these cyber incidents end up taking down health systems, and it becomes very real very fast, the amount of impact that we can have when we have those. So our job is to prepare for, prevent, and protect those systems. Before I jump into, and I won't kill you by PowerPoint, I promise. A lot of IT people love to just death by PowerPoint, but I have a couple slides prepared. Before I start, I just want to say thank you for each of you and the roles that you do. Very short, I wouldn't be here, nor three other members of my immediate family would not be here without Intermountain Health. That life-saving intervention is a real thing, and so no matter what role you play, you all have directly had impact on certainly our family's life and the communities we serve. So thank you. It might sound a little provocative. If it does, then good. Then that's what I wanted it to do. But we're at the start of a new year, and I don't know about how each of you feel, but often at the start of a new year, I get overwhelmed with 10 new things that I want to do and do more of. And just the more you start adding that all up, the less I feel well. And so a practice that I've had for many years is to start each year by actually quitting something that I had done. And I can only give credit to my bride. She's the one that gives me that inspiration to really continuously improve. So we'll start by just sharing a quick item that we quit. Back in 2016, we just barely had our first child, and my routine was go to work all day, come home, kick on the TV, fall asleep on the couch, and wake up when it was time to go to bed. Like that's effectively was the routine. So I was gone all day, asleep, and then asleep for the rest of the night. And it was not healthy at all. In fact, I used TV as an excuse to wind down. And my wife turned to me and said, what do you think if we just get rid of the TV totally? Now, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, literally like our queen bed touched 3 of the 4 walls. And so I thought maybe it was a plot to have a little bit more real estate for us, but no, I think she was wise in knowing that this thing I thought was self-medicating, self-medicinal was really, it was hurting my health, it was hurting the relationship, and certainly wasn't helpful at all. So to date, we still don't own a TV. We do own a large computer monitor that occasionally will bust out. And that is something when she presented originally, I just thought, I don't know how we could ever truly give that up. But it's been something we just have not looked back at all. So it might sound a little odd, and it's okay if that's like not your thing. But what we've been able to garner by giving up a distraction, I think, has outweighed any of the other benefits. Fast forward a few years, I became extremely dependent on the most amazing beverage that this world has ever offered, which is Dr. Pepper. And it was bad too. It was really bad, to the point where, again, trying to justify it, I'm like, it's my calm down, right? Or I need this for my pick me up, or whatever. What harm is it? And it was the end of December. It's December like 30th or whatever, in 23, where it just had that moment where I was like, all right, I know I need to give up something next year. What should I do? And so I just not only gave up Dr. Pepper, but all caffeine, period. I fought that really hard because I knew I needed to do it, but I didn't want to do it. Maybe there's some of you that can commiserate a little bit. But I'll tell you, I have more energy. I don't have the fog. We've saved a ton of money. My teeth are grateful for it. And, the benefits can just go on and on. So when we say, start by giving something up, as you start this new year, think of what's one thing that maybe you could, if you were to give it up, what could you then replace that time or energy with? And that might be a better relationship. It might be, more intentionality in your life. And I'll share my 2025, mostly to keep me accountable. This will look like I'm giving up hot showers and trading it for only cold plunges. And it's not entirely true. But I do love, I could hang out in the shower for, hours at a time. It is truly medicinal for me. But I've also been entered into this world of, the positive effects that immersing yourself in cold water can actually do for short periods of time. And so far I've kept up with the schedule that I've set out. It's not much. It's like 11 minutes a week collectively. And you'll see, influencers or whatever, like dumping, lots of ice and like, how cold can we make it? They're chipping away ice at lakes and jumping at it. That is not my extent. If that's your thing, amazing. I'm so happy for you. For me, I didn't like cold water, period. And so I wanted to just try something to force myself again to get out of that comfort zone. So that's 2025's. That's one of the things that I've chosen to give up, is that luxury of long, hot showers. So I leave you again just with a challenge. Not everyone is well all of the time. I've read enough child books and lived enough life to understand that no one can be well all of the time. But if we're intentional about how we spend our time and what we choose to do or not do, then we can reap those benefits of, ultimately and more comprehensively being well rather than just being well in a moment. So with that, I'll end and turn it back over to you, Brooke.
Thank you so much, Matt. I love that flip on the head of what we're actually quitting instead of what we're starting for the new year. That's such a fun way to think about that. I will go ahead and spotlight myself. And again, Matt, you can stay on camera or off camera for the stretch. It's totally up to you. And I will remove yours really fast. Alrighty, I think we're good to go. Let me switch my camera. So in the spirit of what Matt shared, we are gonna quit sitting so much. Making sure that we're incorporating more breaks into our lives and our bodies. My name is Brooke. This is the stretch portion now. So if you want to stand up, we are going to get into our hips a little bit. I sit a lot for my job, but if you stand a lot for your job, you're in one position for a long time. So let's jump into it. Bring your legs wider than your hips, and you're going to squat down. Take a big inhale, scoop out and up. Look up and exhale, look down. One more big squat. Scoop your arms out. Take up all the space you can. Inhale, look up. And exhale, release. Look down. So like I said, we're going to get into our hips today, but we're going to start off with some dynamic movement. You want to keep your legs wider than your hips. Take that right hand, reach it up and over. Take that left hand and reach forward and switch sides. We're going to scoop like this a couple times, each side, more than a couple. But here the goal is to keep your shoulders open, keep your head looking up. When you pull over, see if you can tilt your hip away from you. One more time each side. Now come back through the middle, bring your legs closer together, think closer to hip width, maybe slightly wider. We're going to do the same thing, but just hold it. So bring that right hand, bring it up and over. Now pop your hip out as far as you can to the side. It should feel really nice on the side of your body. With your left hand, you can reach across or put it on your hip. Avoid any knee joints. Hold it here, see how far you can go. Open up your shoulder towards the sky. Come back up, switch sides. Left hand up and over, pop your hip all the way out to the side. Open up your shoulder, look towards the sky. Again, take your right hand across your body or on your hip, whatever feels good. Connect with your breath. Notice if you're holding your breath. And come back up through the middle. Now we're going to take some chest openers, again, getting into our lower back. So I'm just going to go to the side so you can see me. But we're going to pull our arms back, chest up, arch everything out, inhale, and exhale, punch and lean forward. Do this a couple times, so just move through it at your pace. Inhale. If you feel a nice little stretch, you can stop there for a second, and then keep moving. One more. Exhale. Now come through the middle. If you have a towel or something close by, you can. If you have a hard time reaching your own fingertips back behind you, grab onto some cloth for some support, but interlace your hands back behind you. Walk your legs slightly wider than your hips. Take a soft bend in your knees. Tuck your hips underneath. Now slide your arms out and up, totally straight as high as you can go, and tilt your head side to side. So take it to the left, take it to the right. Maybe close your eyes here. I will guide you through. Trust your body, trust yourself. So proud of you for joining these 10 minutes to hear from Matt and to just take a break for yourself. Finish off the week strong. One more each side. And go ahead and release. We're going to take a couple squats just to get into our lower body. So squat down, tap your toes, send your seat straight back and reach up. Clench your seat at the top, abs stay tight. Squat down, touch your toes, and reach all the way up. On this next one, you're going to stay down. You're going to rotate over to the right side, so both toes face forward. Giant step forward with your right leg, giant step back with your left, and you're going to come up with both hands on your thighs. If you want, you can also use the back of a chair and hold on to it, but really this is that runner's lunge. Now we're going to stay here for about 30 seconds, and we have a couple variations, so you can just stay right here. If you do, clench that back left seat. You'll really feel the front engage and stretch even deeper. But you can drop your knee down and keep your toes curled. You can flatten your feet. You can also bring your hands to the ground, even if you're up with your knee up. And if you want a nice little twist for that lower back, reach your right hand up and back, again with your knee down or your knee up, whatever feels good to you today. This is your time. Maybe play around with it, come up and down. Again, opening up our hips is so good for us, especially if we sit a lot or stand a lot or just stay in one position. Either way, whether your knee is down or up, again, clench that back left seat. Really feel the front engage. Now, wherever you are, if your knee's down, pop it back up. Bring both of your hands to the ground. Rotate forward, both toes face forward, and sink into that hip. Some of you might be up here with your hands on your thighs and just popping your seat back, chest up. Some of you might be all the way down. If you're all the way down, you can also try to release your heel to the ground. My Achilles are really tight, so I can't do that. But find what feels good. Again, I'll hang here for a second, get those inner thighs and hips stretched out. Maybe rest your head, hang your head down. Even if you're up here, hang your head, pop your seat straight back. Now press up slowly, come back through the middle, shake it out, left to right. Maybe rotate your head. We'll do the other side. So we're going to go down all the way to the left side, both toes face forward, and stay here for a second, even if you went down on the other side. Hold this stretch here, hands on your thighs. Back heel popped up. Squeeze that back right seat now. Chest up, chin up, shoulders relaxed. Keep breathing. Now, if you want, you can take any of those variations. So again, rotation with your upper body, with your left hand reaching up. You can bring your knee down. You can keep your heel and your toes curled under. You can flatten your foot, whatever works. Feel that release in your hip. Should feel really nice. Again, squeeze that back right seat. If you're down on the ground, you can take that twist too. No matter where you are, bring your hands to the ground, pop up that back leg. Now rotate forward, both toes face forward, and send your seat back behind you and sit into that inner thigh stretch. Again, some of you might be up here, sitting your seat back behind you. That is totally fine. Look at your toes, make sure they're in train tracks. If you want to come all the way down, if your heel can release to the ground, great, amazing. We'll stay here for just a second. You can drop your head. Notice your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. Release your eyebrows. Let your jaw unclench. And gently press back up. We just have one more stretch together, so stay with your legs wide, toes forward, hinge forward, and you can grab behind your calves. You can grab your opposite elbows. Maybe bend and extend your knees. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Take a deep bend in the thighs, palms on your thighs. Roll your head up, one vertebrae at a time. Head is heavy, last to lift. Thank you so much for being here. Let me get you the code. Really appreciate it. Love that we had so much to think about, Matt, with what are we quitting? So let me get you guys the form.